Hi guys, I want to make a video on preparing you and your dog for the 4th of July. The 4th of July and the surrounding days, tons and tons of dogs go missing every year because of the unpredictability of events, different fireworks on different days for different towns, but your dog has very good hearing and they can hear fireworks oftentimes a couple of towns over. If you have a noise sensitive dog, you want to be extra vigilant. If you have a dog who is new to you in the area, you want to be hyper vigilant. If you have a dog who is prone to escaping their collar or their harness, you want to be extra vigilant. So my first tip is to watch what equipment you have on your dogs. Back clip harnesses, even if your dog doesn't normally escape from them, they are actually quite easy for a lot of dogs to escape from. So I always recommend having a collar splitter or a leash splitter on your dogs, which means that it has 2 points, so I'll go grab one that I make. So here's one that I make. So the leash, the normal leash, clips onto here. The splitter, the short part, clips onto what you normally attach onto your dog. So that could be the back clip harness, the front clip harness, prong collar, whatever it is. And the longer one attaches onto your dog's regular collar. Personally, with this one, I tend to attach onto a Martingale, or it's the only thing I have my dogs attached to. Most of my dogs wear one. You can see Louise has one on here. So I like Martingale collars because they tighten slightly. So the collar normally sits like this. Your leash clips here, and if the dog pulls into it, it tightens. So this does a couple of things. One, it means that it puts pressure evenly all the way around the neck, so it's not just pushed on one part of the trachea. Makes it more comfortable for the dog and more safe. The other thing is, it makes it really hard for the dog to back out of. This is what I started walking Louise on. I did not walk her on a harness at all. I want her to have more control over her, and I want to know that she could not escape. She would be in fight or flight mode as soon as she saw people. If I had a harness on her, she would have found a way to get out. A Martingale was the only thing that I trust that she would not be able to escape, no matter how hard she fought. I have it on a lot of our pits because their necks are as thick as their heads, or thicker. So if I was to have a collar on tight enough that they couldn't escape, it would be too tight for them. It would be too uncomfortable. But if they started to pull, or if they started to back out of it, it would just tighten up enough that they wouldn't be able to get out. So I highly, highly recommend Martingales if your dog's an escape artist at all. If you walk them on a harness, that's fine. But you can have either 2 leashes, one attached to the harness and one attached to the Martingale. That way, if they start slipping out of the harness, you can still have that dog on a leash. Or you can get some type of leash splitter, again, like what I make. So that you can have 2 contact points, the dog escapes one, you still have them on another. Huge safety concern for me because if they hear fireworks and they are that freaked out, the dog's not able to think properly. So they are very likely to run away and hide somewhere. They're not likely to be able to respond to a recall, even if your dog usually is receptive to you. Keep your dogs inside in the evenings. Let them go out maybe a little bit earlier than they normally do. Even if you have a backyard, if you need to take your dog out in the evening, I recommend having them on a leash. Because dogs, again, when they go into fight or flight mode, they do things that they wouldn't normally. So they could jump that fence, even if they wouldn't normally do that. So again, I just want your dog to be super safe. Or maybe if they don't jump the fence, they hide somewhere in your yard if you have a large yard. Or they dig underneath it. There's a ton of options that are just not pleasant ones. So it's better to have some extra management there just for these couple of days, up to a week, to make sure that everything's safe for your dog. Inside of the house, you can play music, nice soothing music. You can play it at like a medium level so it blocks out some of the outdoor noise. Your dog can hear a lot of things that we can't, if they're not deaf. There are some deaf dogs that I've been working with recently who thankfully don't have firework issues. But if your dog does have sensitive hearing or if they are noise sensitive, playing that music can help them. They will still be able to feel some vibrations oftentimes, so it won't eliminate it, but it can decrease the intensity of their reaction. Give them a safe place to go. If your dog wants to go and hide in the bathtub, behind the couch, let them. Don't try and drag them out, make them face it. That's just where they feel safe and comfortable. Let them feel safe and comfortable. You can soothe your dog. You can give them, no, shh, it's okay. But be really careful about your tone. When we tend to soothe, we go, no, baby, it's okay. And that really agitates a dog more than calming them down. So if you do soothe your dog, be careful that you're actually soothing them, not agitating them. You can try and distract them. You can try and give them games to play, throw food on the ground to let them sniff around. You can give them stuffable toys. You can give them licky mats. Some activity might be enough to distract dogs who have a low to maybe medium intensity of fear with the fireworks. It's not likely to do a whole lot for dogs who are very, very fearful. Thunder shirts or other types of compression shirts can also work to help reduce some of that fear. It gives them a safe feeling, or establishing a little corner for them. Again, giving them access to behind the couch, or maybe putting a blanket over their crate. You don't have to force them in there, but that gives them a safe place to go if they want to. Make sure that everyone on the house is up to date on the rules. So be careful that the doors aren't being left open because it's nice weather out. We don't want the dog to be scared and scoot out the door. That accounts for most of it. Just keep your dog safe, keep them on leash, and keep an eye on them. Be aware that things are a bit unpredictable during this next week or two. So I hope that helps. Keep your dog safe and have a great night.